So I'm joined on Skype now by Tim Peake, who is an astronaut with the European Space Agency and, apart from myself, the only current British astronaut in the world. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, John, and I'm glad to see you in your spacesuit there, looking very good.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm preparing, as you know, for my mission to hack my way into space as part of NASA's Space Apps Challenge, this global hack event this weekend, and I'm asking some experts for their advice. That's you, because your basic training with ESA took more than a year, and the training's obviously ongoing. Now, given that I have slightly less time to train than you had, what are the most important things that you have learned that you think I need to know to prepare for my space flight?
I think the best thing is that you're going to have a superb ground support team, and they will be able to help you through every step of the way. So if you can follow procedures, then that's 50% of the way there. The rest of it is down to mental and physical preparation, I think. Be physically fit, because space is a pretty harsh environment on the body, and just be mentally prepared for what you're going to do. Think through every step so that when it arrives, you're prepared and ready for it, and it will seem perfectly normal.
This is something that Don was talking about. So the preparation for knowing every single step of the procedures that you're going to have to go through. This is obviously a repetition and a practice of those procedures, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's pertinent to all walks of life as well, not just spaceflight. It's something I used to do when I was flying. I would sit down and I would think my way through a sortie, so that when I was in the aircraft, everything seemed normal and I wasn't taken by surprise. I was already mentally prepared for what was to come. And I think that goes for many jobs.
Okay. I should clearly apply that to my job. Mostly I'm an artist in the world and I'm responding to things and being intuitive, but I am aware that I need to, knuckle down for this mission. I know you're currently training in America, having been selected. This is a great achievement, I think. I'm sure you're very pleased, but selected for a mission with NASA's Extreme Environment Mission Operations, the fabulously named NEEMO. What are you going to be doing on this mission?
Yeah, NEEMO is fabulous. It's tremendously exciting. We're looking at asteroids. NASA's been running these NEEMO missions for many years, and over the years they've studied many different things. But the previous mission, and our mission, NEEMO 16, is really focused on NASA's next step, which is asteroid exploration. So we're going down to an underwater habitat, the only one left in the world, called Aquarius, which is off the Florida coast, down at 20 meters under the water. And we're going to live there for 12 days. And during that time, we're going to be on a simulated asteroid mission. And we're going to be working outside, doing 2 EVAs every day, working with deep worker submersibles, which are going to simulate our space exploration vehicles. And we're going to be practicing difficult questions that NASA are facing at the moment. For example, how do you collect scientific samples from an asteroid that's got really low gravity? Do you anchor to it or do you not? Do you just use a space exploration vehicle to go round it with an astronaut on a footplate trying to pick up samples? All those kind of things, as well as dealing with the communication delay, which is going to be a problem. And the new tools and spacesuits and techniques that have to be developed for this tremendous next step.
Wow. I mean, you've got to be thinking, probably go, this is the best job in the world.
I was really happy when I got selected for the NEEMO mission. It's the best space analog that you could possibly go on. And second to a space mission, I think it's going to be the most exciting thing that I'll ever do.
Wow, cool. Well, talking about this amazing analog simulation of space in the future, clearly what you're being trained for is to get up there. What sort of space missions are you hoping to be involved in the future?
At the moment, we're focused on ISS because having now gone through its construction phase, we're really into the scientific phase of the International Space Station. And we've got hopefully 10 good years of space station life at least, where we can really maximize the scientific return. So that's what we're all focused on at the moment. But of course, you have to be looking at life beyond that, the next step, and that's why NASA and other space agencies are continually thinking 20, 30, 40 years out as to what they're going to be doing next.
Well, this is it. You see, with our space agency, the Unlimited Space Agency, we have 2035 is our scheduled mission to Mars, and that's the ambition at the moment. We are lacking some resources in order to do that, but I think the optimism and the ambition is going to be 50% of getting us there. At some stage, we might need, money and spaceships.
Well, good luck with your mission.
Thank you very much. I mean, but in all seriousness, the ambition is definitely about wanting to inspire that next generation of people. Like you're saying, talking about 20, 30, 40 years from now, the young agents that we're working with, 7 to 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, they're going to be the perfect age for those missions when they come up. But one of the things that I get asked quite a lot as in my role as director of the Unlimited Space Agency is, why do you want to do it? Why do you want to send people up into space? What is the value in doing that? What do you hope to achieve by leaving the Earth when there's so much to achieve on Earth? And I would be interested in what you think about that.
Yes, I mean there's things to be achieved everywhere on Earth, in space, in all sorts of different fields of scientific research and development. Space is really, I mean, it's corny to say, but it's the final frontier. It's where we are going to push our technology and our capabilities to the absolute limit. And we're already finding out some fascinating things about the human body just by being on the International Space Station. We're learning about how viruses change. We're learning about how the body's immune system changes and responds to viruses. And also in terms of bone decay and muscle decay and how to counter those. We're learning all sorts of things. So it's a fascinating environment in which to do research and development on the human body. But more than that, we don't know what we're going to find when we go to new places. We don't know what's going to be on these asteroids. We have hardly touched the lunar surface. There's so much more there that we don't know about, and we're finding out every day. Not to mention Mars and other planets in our solar system. I think it's all about small steps, and this is where humanity is going. It's our destiny to go out into space, and one day I think we will occupy and live permanently on other planets, either in this solar system or maybe another. And therefore, we have to start taking these small steps now.
I agree with you very strongly, and I also, what you said about we don't know. We cannot be sure of what it is that we might find out that is going to be of benefit to us. And I'm going to make the link there with, I suppose, my work as an artist as well. That the value of that, imagining what might happen and then actually doing it, going on crazy missions or finding things out and trying to work out. We don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to find out something valuable, possibly in the process. So,
yeah, and it's something that I dealt with many times as a test pilot. And the most interesting thing was that you would set up a test flight plan to go out and research one area, and you would come back often with completely different results of something you hadn't even thought about or hadn't expected. And that was the true value, is learning about the things that you never expected to learn about. And that's exactly what we do in space.
You just mentioned about being a test pilot, because before you were an astronaut, you were a highly decorated major in the British Army, one of our most accomplished test pilots, helicopter test pilots. You also have a Bachelor of Science degree in Flight Dynamics from the University of Plymouth. So do you think of yourself as a pilot or as a scientist?
I think I'd be doing a disservice to the scientific community if I called myself a scientist. So, no, I'm very much a pilot, but my passion and my hobby has always been science. In my spare time, I would love to I pick up books on particle physics and just learning about chemistry and biology. So to me, that's more of my hobby, if you like, my passion. With my true professional background is very much as a pilot.
What's the interest in the hobby? Because it is fascinating. I am, it's my hobby. I describe myself as a physics geek. But why is it important for you to understand the science of what it is that you're doing as well as just doing it?
On a number of different levels. I think from a point of view of actually accomplishing the mission, if you can understand why you're doing something, and if you can understand the way in which the scientist needs to analyze a sample, for example, then if you're in an area like an asteroid mission where you have a communication delay and you're out there by yourself, you need to be in the scientist's mind so that you do the best job possible of collecting pure samples that are the right samples, for example, that are going to return the greatest scientific value. So you've got to have an understanding and a knowledge of what is trying to be accomplished. But also, more than that, I think if you're going to truly be 100% into a mission, then you've got to be passionate about what you're doing, you've got to be able to talk about the science, and you've got to be able to enjoy the science too.
Cool, thank you. What advice, given that you are this incredibly accomplished pilot and also studying the science, well, what advice do you have for any young Unlimited Space Agency agents, the younger agents that we have, for how they could, if they wanted to, get into space?
I think the best advice is just to follow what you really enjoy and what you're passionate about, because if you follow space, obviously you're interested in that, but in terms of a career and a profession, there's no direct way to get into space. We have doctors, we have many pilots, we also have geophysicists, for example, engineers, astronauts from all sorts of different backgrounds. And I'm working at the moment with a geologist and a professor of astronomy on my NEEMO mission, and another test pilot on my NEEMO mission, for example. So we come from all sorts of different backgrounds, but the common theme is that we had an interest in space, and what we do, we have tried to do to the absolute best of our ability, and we're passionate about it. I think they're the main messages to take home, is just follow what you really want to do and be good at it.
I think that's excellent, excellent advice. Thank you, Tim. Any final advice for me, knowing that I am going on this mission tomorrow? I have a deadline of 1300 hours GMT tomorrow to get into space. What do I need to know, Tim?
Don't forget your camera and enjoy the ride.
Brilliant. I think I can do that. I feel like I can probably do both of those things. They're clear instructions that I can rehearse and practice as well. Tim, thank you so much for your time today. It's really valued, knowing how busy you are and the training that you're going through at the moment. I would love. Are you going to be? I think you've just started blogging as well. Are you going to be describing your?
Yeah, we've got a blog, the ESA Astronaut Class of 2009 blogging, and I also started tweeting this week as well. Yes. In preparation for the NEEMO mission.
So you can see Tim on Twitter. You're at @astro_Tim Peake, I think. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
And I will make sure that I let all of our agents know where your reports about the NEEMO mission is. Because in my head, I'm fascinated by what that is. Because in my head, the talk of an asteroid mission, I can't help but get out of my head Armageddon. And I know, fun as that film is, it's so far, all the science is so badly wrong that it's very difficult to enjoy it. Yeah, so I'd love to see the real version of you guys. Will there be pictures and bits of film?
There'll be plenty of pictures and bits of film, yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
And we have some tremendous experts here at NASA who I've been had the privilege of working with this week, who have just been informing me about asteroids and why we're going there and how we're going to do it. It's absolutely incredible. It really is cutting edge stuff.
So this is for real. We are looking at like near Earth objects, asteroids that we can fly to, land on, perform experiments on, and return to Earth from.
Absolutely, it's for real, and these pieces of equipment and hardware are being developed as we speak, and these techniques and procedures are being developed. And what's great about it is everybody's taking a very flexible view on this, and the space exploration vehicle, for example, that we're looking for asteroids, will have an interchangeable undercarriage that could be a lunar exploration vehicle or a Mars exploration vehicle too. It's a pressurized module, one exploration vehicle that can do all three jobs. And that's the way to go, so that we have maximum flexibility in these new pieces of hardware that we're developing.
Cool. Well, Tim, enjoy the ride yourself. It sounds like an amazing adventure that you're on. Be safe, of course, and thank you again so much for your time today. It's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you, John. Great to speak to you too.
Look, take care.
You too. Bye-bye.